Hello and welcome to the English Box. Today we're going to talk about some of the differences between British English and American English. As I'm sure you all know, the Americans imported the English language from the British Isles. And having imported it, they made a number of changes. Now everyone knows that the Americans call mobile phones cell phones, but you may be surprised to learn about some of the other changes that they made. For example, the words reliable, talented, lengthy, influential and tremendous all originated in the USA. Indeed, these words were met with a similar level of contempt and skepticism to that which meets and greets new words coming over the Atlantic nowadays. So let's look at some of the modern day differences. We've already mentioned cell phones and mobile phones, but what about cash machines? When an English person wants money, they go to a cash machine. When an American wants money, they go to an ATM. What about when an English person wants to fill up his car? He goes to a petrol station and he fills up with petrol, whereas an American goes to a gas station and fills up with gas. Keeping with the car theme, we have the boot. The boot is the back of the car where you put your suitcase, whereas in America, the trunk is the back of the car where you put your dead bodies. The bonnet is the front of the car under which the engine is. In America, this is the hood. In England, a bonnet can also be a hat that you put on your head, especially at Easter time. In America, a hood is an area of a city characterized by gang warfare. What about a lift? A lift in England is something that carries people between different floors. In America, this is called an elevator, even though elevators generally have to lift more than a lift. In England, we go to watch a film, but in America, you go to the movies. And finally, if we're going for a hike in England, then we're probably going to climb a mountain. But in America, they're probably going to increase the price of something. Okay, a while ago, the BBC did a little survey and they discovered the American phrases that English people find the most irritating. Now I'm going to have a quick look at some of the phrases that were mentioned. We have in America, can I get a, when you order something in a bar. For example, can I get a beer? In England you would say, can I have a beer? In America they say to deplane. This means to get off a plane when you land. Whereas in England you'd say to disembark. You don't plane a plane, so you don't deplane a plane. In America you say to wait on somebody. I'm waiting on a friend. Whereas in England you say I'm waiting for a friend. In America you say transportation, and in England you say transport. And one that the Americans, I think, have got right: when you celebrate a birthday, you turn an age. So next year, I'm turning 28, for example. In British English, we say, I'm celebrating my 28th birthday. I think the American English language is a lot more economic here. Another thing that causes some difficulty for English teachers is whether to correct people when they say on the weekend or at the weekend. In American English, you say on the weekend. In English, you say at the weekend. Similarly with the use of adjectives and adverbs. In America, you can say I'm good, but in British English, people tend to say I'm well, although more and more people say I'm good when asked how they are. Also, the past participle of the verb to get. In America, you say I have gotten, and in England, you say I have got. We say expiry date, and the Americans say expiration date. And also, Americans use the adverb already in a slightly different way. They use it with imperatives. They often also use it with the past tense. So with imperatives, turn it off already, whereas we would simply say turn it off. And in the past tense, I did it already, instead of saying I have already done it, as we would say in England. That brings us to the end of the video. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, click the big fat subscribe button. If you would like to watch a video about funny English words, click the respective panel, and a video about embarrassing mistakes when speaking foreign languages, click that respective panel too. Okay, thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.